What's up, folks? Joshua Smith here with the Home Agent Group. Today I'm going to do a driving tour of Hendersonville, but a specific part of Hendersonville. We've got two peninsulas in Hendersonville, south of 31, south of Main Street. I'm going to go through the first peninsula, which is, I don't know if people call it this, but I call it the Ferry Peninsula. It's where Sanders Ferry and the other ferry are, Walton Ferry. There's a couple of marinas down there. There's bars and restaurants. There's Rockland Recreation Area, a couple of other parks. It's a great place to live and be and work and play. So join me today as we drive around Hendersonville and see what there is to see. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let's hit the road. We're driving along East Main Street now, going through sort of the northernmost point of the Upper Peninsula on this side of Hendersonville. Really, from here you can get to Nashville in 20 to 30 minutes depending on where you're going, what part of town. Get to the airport in a half an hour easily. You can get to many parts of town very quickly, just like you can anywhere else in Nashville. It's pretty accessible. The infrastructure here is such that you do have to go kind of around the lake. I kind of we all wish that there was a bridge across the lake to get directly into Old Hickory. But you know what? It's still worth being up here. It's worth the drive. Once you're here, you lack for nothing. I mean, there's so much going on up here. I do love this part of town. I have to admit I'm biased. But at the same time, what's not to love, right? So here's one of the fun things about Hendersonville is that wherever you go, you're, just a couple of minutes away from the water. You can go get out on the lake. There's a bunch of play areas, places to take your kids, playgrounds, on the water, off the water. There's a handful of marinas. I didn't realize how many there were because I went driving out here and I did like a Google Maps thing to kind of see different places I wanted to go check out, and saw like at least 4 or 5 different marinas. Hell, I'm driving by one right now over here at the Rockland Recreation Area. But that's just one of the great things about this area is that there's so much to do, so much wildlife to see. In fact, I'm rolling slow here because look at this. Hold on, look at that. You got those deer crossing the street. This guy was just hanging out looking at these deer. We're just gonna get some grass here, eat some food. Thanks for stopping by the Rockland Recreation Area. We're the welcome committee. I don't know what that was all about. Anyway, I just want you guys to see what this place is, what it has to offer, how great it is. I love it. I moved my family here just this year, and we have really just fallen in love with everything that there is to do. This Rockland Recreation Area has boat ramp, a marina, we've got a little picnic area. There's an archery range. Where else in Nashville are you gonna find an archery range? I don't know of one. Now this is super cool right here. This old gray house evidently is the old home of the Rocky Top songwriters. And if you go on Google Maps, it says it's a museum. It looks like a private residence to me, so I don't know if I'll be rolling up in there necessarily, but I mean, Rocky Top songwriters. Leon Russell lived here at one point evidently. Hey-o. I know Johnny Cash lived out here on the lake somewhere. I think it was in this peninsula, not far from here. A lot of old songwriters lived right over here in this area. Just to sort of outline, like we just saw the Rockland Recreation Area, but there's this access area for the lake. There's a little lock right here. I'm pretty sure there's an access in there. You've got, maybe we'll drive by the Arboretum. Over here you've got Creekwood Marina, Mallard Point Park. I think you can get in there. There's the boat ramp, right there. And of course there's Drake's Creek Marina. I mean, come on, you get so many lake access points. Of course, Sanders Ferry Park right down here. Come on. So in terms of the market, in terms of values over here, Hendersonville follows trends with Nashville general in terms of price points. So mid to high 4s, well into the 5s, as much as 1, 2, 3 million once you get on the lake for these lakefront properties, especially the ones closer to the marinas closer to these recreation areas. What I love about it is you've got not your traditional Nashville ranch necessarily, but you've got these like 1970s estate ranches and 60s estate ranches. The other great thing about these houses over here is the lot sizes. These old existing homes, they just have 1 acre lots. You know, they've got more than an acre, 2 acre lots, 2.5 acre lots, all throughout here in these old subdivisions. On top of that, you also have newer subdivisions, you know, Harbor Town, right as you come into the Upper Peninsula. You've got various other subdivisions that were built around the schools. I mean, that's another great thing, is the school system out here is incredible. The schools here are comparable, competitive. You've got magnet schools, you've got, you know, your religious schools, which in the South is your private school arena. But you also have a really great public school system out here. So for small families looking to, you know, educate our brain winners and thought leaders for the future, it's a great neighborhood for all of that. But there's just so much to do in Hendersonville. I mean, you know, all of these bars and restaurants, and I have not had a single bad meal out here. I mean, what more could you ask for? So I think that's what's great about Hendersonville, is as a neighborhood, as a community, you have really great value in these homes because there's so much going on over here. There's so much to leverage your value on. It's been here for a long time. You've got multiple generations of people here. It's a great community, great neighborhood to become a part of if you're new, and to remain a part of once you're a part of it. So I think that the values here are only going to continue to rise and grow and be strong. It may not be one of the most expensive neighborhoods in town, although you can find super expensive properties over here, a lot of high value estates. It's still an affordable community for up and coming families, up and coming investors, and people looking for ways to get into this marketplace. So that's my Hendersonville report. That's what I love about it. If you have any Hendersonville suggestions, throw them in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you around again soon.